Hi, Joanne. I hope you're doing well. I see you've posted your exhibit proposal, and I think you've done a really nice job with it. And in particular, I think it demonstrates your ability to control light now. I think um, you still obviously have some growth to do in that area, but I think you've demonstrated that you know how to take a light, take a lighting situation, and then control it. Either by moving yourself, by using light modifiers, by using a reflector, by positioning your lamp, that sort of thing. I think that's pretty clear in the photographs that you presented. This particular one that you presented from the Power of Light assignment, I think is a good choice for your cover. And it shows transmitted light from the reflection of the light off the water and also through the trees. We have direct light coming that way. And a photograph, it's uh, an image from nature that I've seen before, but I think for this exhibit proposal and so on, it captures that idea of the power of light. That's the key thing about it, that you've um, shown how light can bleed through, create shadow, create reflective pattern, and impact the composition. It's more or less a symmetrical image, so it's kind of split down the middle, but I think there's enough things going on here asymmetrically with the tree trunk over here and the stones down here that helps to balance out the overall image and make it more dynamic. So let's go ahead and into your portfolio and start looking at some of the work. Your essay I thought was really nicely done. You've done a good job of describing what you've learned, and I think that it was the purpose of this. So I'm all set here. A couple small typos right here. I saw one. So just always be careful to catch that. I leaned that softbox. So just a few things here. I think a spell checker probably wouldn't catch those things. You'd have to proofread it because they're correctly spelled, just the wrong word. All right, so look at the photographs, and you've done a nice job by the sequencing. You put things together that make sense. These two portraits of the little girl make sense side by side, different little girls, but similar age and gender and so on, so it makes sense to put them together. This one with the use of the window light and the strobe light, what I like about this is the uh, height of the light, that you've got this nice triangle being formed on her cheek on the shadow side, and there's just enough information for us to see her eyes. This is pretty dramatic lighting, not much fill coming in from this side. It looks like from the reflector eyes that could be the strobe light, and then the fill would be from the window light, I'm guessing, or maybe there's a large window over here. I'm not sure, but the strobe light definitely appears to be dominating that particular scene. Over here we have open shade, and of course that's a very diffuse light that just wraps right around the face. So there's a nice contrast in lighting that you've set up by sequencing these two images next to each other, showing those different kinds of light. Here's a similar idea where you have very, very open, this is open sky, so the lighting is bouncing in on her face from the surrounding area. I believe you used a reflector on this too to fill in the shadow. Over here we have the light. It's a little bit low. You remember from our critique there that just need to raise the light higher. It's a little bit underneath, so you've got shadows kind of, if you look at his nose, kind of going up rather than down as an angle. But because it is a softbox, that makes it a softer shadow and looks more pleasant then. Here you've got the images, and I'm so glad you redid this one of the egg. I think you learned a lot by redoing it. And uh, I've already commented much about this car image from that assignment, but here this is fairly new. I think that the way you lit this, that you have the light kind of from behind coming across, creating that shadow, really helps to communicate the shape of the egg with that nice round shadow coming in and the light coming across from across and behind. I'm really glad you redid this assignment because I think you've shown your ability to really modify the light a little bit. The egg is right in the middle, and I think you can make it more dynamic by moving the egg a little bit off center. Using a rule of thirds would make just the image a little more interesting. And over here, these are again, from the Power of Light, and they were your best images from that particular sequence. And then here we have the reshoot you did of the texture using light better here with the hard light coming across the face of the stuffed animal, and of course bringing out the texture of the fur right here, and then your architectural shot um, from that particular assignment. So you've chosen your best images, and in each one you're showing different character aspects of light, and so I think that works well. This particular one, your external flash, of course, is not really going to show up because of the intensity of the daylight. And I'm sure you realize that as you took it, it would really only light maybe 12 feet in front. You would have to photograph this at night and maybe use your flash on a remote connection with wireless remote connection, and then you can highlight some aspect of the building. But during the day, use the flash will only kind of fill in the front, so basically like the street. So it didn't show up on this particular one, but the angle of view and the time of day you've chosen to filter off the building are good choices and made for a strong image. So, Jen, good luck in your next class. I think you've done really well here. I believe you're ready to go on to studio photography. I think you'll do well. You have the basic fundamentals down for use of your one light. Now you move into PH 202, where you'll be studying using two strobes plus light modifiers and reflectors. And that's going to really open up a lot of options for you for, again, showing more dimension and shadows and working with background figure separation, that sort of thing. So do your best to follow those assignments and work hard to do them correctly, and it'll really help you develop your lighting technique.